The Stretch Goals Summer Swarm event is in full effect. Everyone is farming until their eyes bleed trying to get these hard to find exotics, named items, and vanity items. But in today's video, I am sad to say that I am not farming this event. It's not my cup of tea. I don't like the way it's been executed, and after what the developers have said will happen after this event, it makes it to where a lot of people that were grinding this event don't have to, because they're going to get the items they're looking for just given to them. But there is a small caveat. You do have to farm a little bit in the game. I believe you have to hit 150 on that season level to get both of them given to you. But we'll talk about that here in just a second. But hey, let's get this party started. What's going on, YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 video, so sit back, relax, grab that popcorn, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what you think in the comments section below, and finally, shout out where you're from. It's cool to see where everyone is from, but we're talking about the Stretch Goals event, the Summer Swarm Cache. So these are your rewards, right? This is the Summer Swarm event, and there's another 10 days of this event going live. Now, it's only 10 rewards, but it's on a unlimited looping mechanic. So once you finish the 10th reward, it takes you back to number 1, and you can do it again and again and again and again until your eyes bleed. Pretty cool, right? Now, out of these 10 drops, you get 5 Summer Swarm caches. So let's open one up. Now, the thing about this cache is this is the cache that is supposed to give you all of your bonus items, right? So you're getting all of your vanity items, all of that jazz. Let's see if I can find it really quick. Maybe it'll let me equip it all now that I have it together. All right, so we're looking for the buggy. Where's that bug mask? I forget. There we go. All right, so it's called the Warrior Wasp, and you cannot equip the whole set. So we do have the Wasp outfit. It's yellow with black accents. Okay, I mean, you can buy a red version if you want, but this is the free version, right? I don't like it. It's not my cup of tea. It's all right. I'm sure, a lot of people are going to enjoy it, but I'm just not a big, looking like a bug. I'm not a big Ant-Man fan, if you will. Like, hey, I have nothing wrong against Ant-Man, but it's just not my cup of tea. So then you have some of these patches here for the summer event. They're pretty cool. Nothing too crazy. I mean, pretty standard patches here. They do look all right. And yes, we do have a few weapon skins. There's the Wasp, and then there's the Warrior Wasp. I think one's green, and then the other one is yellow. And we don't even need to get into that. The whole reason why I'm even saying any of this is because those are all the event items you're getting, right? So you're just getting the vanity items. It's a 50% chance of you getting these vanity items. Now, the exotics and the named items is where everyone's getting upset, because not only are you missing your named items and exotics, but a majority of these caches are not even dropping bonus items. And then after doing the drop chances and trying to figure out what's going on here, it's like an 80-20 split, where 80% of the time you're not going to get a bonus item, and then 20% of the time you might get a bonus item, but then you have to either, hope that it's going to be one of the rare exotics, but the way that they have the drop chances laid out, it's more likely going to be either a chatterbox or a Lexington. But now the developer said that they're just going to give you the Lexington and the Turmoil. So a lot of people are not even farming anymore, not only because of the drop chances, but because they're going to be just giving out these items regardless. So I'm going to jump over to Twitter. I'm going to show you what the developers have said, what the drop chances are, and why I am not farming this event. I hope you enjoy, and let's jump over. So to do more of a deep dive, we are over here on Twitter, X if you're nasty, and just a reminder, you can get all of your Division news before I make a YouTube video on this Twitter page, because I share, retweet, what have you, anything Division related. Now, with that being said, we have two things to get into. We have what the developers have said and those drop rates. Now, just a reminder, I did open up that cache, and I want to show you what the drop rates typically are, because this is where a lot of people are giving up. Because after you get all of your vanity items, right, the rest of it is a 10% drop chance or lower. And this is only if you get a bonus item to drop. So if you get a bonus item to drop, it would be 10% out of this pool, 10% out of this pool, or 0.5% out of this pool. So that's only a 20.5% chance. So, technically, you have nearly an 80% chance of not getting a bonus item. And then if you do, 10% maybe it's out of this loot pool, 10% maybe it's out of this loot pool, and 0.5% it's out of this loot pool. Now, within each of those loot pools, then you have your different percentages. So that's why a lot of people are seeing the chatterbox, because if you got this 10% drop, 40% of it is the chatterbox. So, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of jacked up the way they did this, because the previous season, everyone got every single drop no matter what. Now, this season, it's the polar opposite. They're making it so hard that now they're starting to give away some of the items that people are actually farming for. And that's in this category right here, the named items category. So there's a problem here. The first problem is that they added every single event item in the game for this stretch goals event. Now, the issue with that is we're about to have a Halloween event in just a couple weeks. And that Halloween event is going to release all of these items to the loot goblin. So why would you have it here and then do a Halloween event where you're going to be showcasing those items? It does not make sense. Unless they are trying to lower the drop rates of these items. But wait, there's more, because the Lexington is a 30% drop. So let's just say maybe you get a bonus item from that cache. Maybe. A 10% chance it's going to be a named item. 30% of the time it's going to drop as the Lexington, which means if you're looking for the Turmoil, the Shield Splinter, the Hunter Killer, or the Huntsman, the actual exclusive items in this loot pool, it's going to be really hard to come by. Because not only are you relying on that 10% drop chance, but then you're relying on this 30% to not happen. And that's where a lot of people are like, yeah, I'm getting the Lexington. Yeah, I'm getting the Chatterbox. But what about the Huntsman? What about the Turmoil? What about the Regulus? What about the Ravenous? And we haven't even gotten down there yet. So this is a 0.5% chance that you get a bonus item out of this loot pool. 0.5. So if you have been able to get any of these items, even just once, you should probably go play the lottery, because the chances are very, very low. Very low. So it's looking like an 80-20 split, basically, where 80% of the time you're not going to get a bonus item, and then 20% of the time you are. Half of it's going to be from this loot pool, half of it's going to be from this loot pool, and if you're lucky, you might get one from this unicorn loot pool. And that's why I'm not farming this event anymore. Once you get the vanity items, even if you want the vanity items, the rest of it is very, very hard to come by. You're going to be farming non-stop, and it doesn't seem like it's worth it. So much so that the developers posted this. So a few days ago, they posted this, but then they also added some more context to it. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So the developers started with, we've heard your feedback about the Lexington and the Turmoil drops. To address this, players who have completed 30 levels by the end of the event will be guaranteed a Lexington. The Lexington is already the highest drop rate of any named item during this event. So now they're saying that even though it's the highest drop rate weapon for your named items, they're still going to give it to you after 30 levels. Because apparently, even with the boosted drop chance, people are still not getting it. And then it says here that if you complete 50 levels during this event, they will give you the turmoil. And they're going to give it to everyone on September the 12th. Okay? So 30 levels for the Lexington, 50 levels for the turmoil. So if you are at season level 150 or above, you're done. You get a guaranteed Lexington and a guaranteed turmoil at the end of this event. Now, if you're going for those really hard to find items, go for it. But let me just remind you something here. Okay? So let's just say if you are farming for these exotics, right? These exotics down here. Okay? Let's start with the Bighorn. The Bighorn is available in legendary content, typically legendary strongholds or the legendary summit. It's not impossible to get, and it is actually pretty easy to get on floor 10 of the summit if you put it on legendary, because that is the easiest legendary boss in the game. So the Bighorn, there is a way around. Not only that, but you can get it from the Dark Zone. The Ravenous has a 10% drop chance from the final box in the Iron Horse raid. Now, I know a lot of people don't want to do the raid, and I know that the raid doesn't have matchmaking, so people typically try to find this in the Dark Zone as well. Because remember, the Bighorn, the Ravenous, and the Eagle Bearer are all in the Dark Zone on top of their exclusive, sources. Whether it be the Dark Hours raid, the Iron Horse raid, or legendary content. Now, out of all of these, the only hard one to get, really, the hardest one, is the Regulus. Because the Regulus, you have to do multiple raids, you have to do multiple projects, and you have to get multiple items together before you can even get the Regulus. It's a whole thing. It truly is. It takes at least 2 weeks to do because you have to do multiple raids on that same character. Now, the thing about this is it's not available in the Dark Zone, and it's only available in that raid. So this technically is the only place you can get the Regulus outside of the raid. So this would be the only reason to farm right now in the game. However, you're going at a 0.5% drop chance if you even get a drop. And on top of that 0.5%, then you're at a 14% out of all of the other drops. So your chances are very, very, very low, just so you know. This would be the only item I would go for in this project because it's the hardest one to come by outside of this project or outside of this event. Where even the hunters, you can get all of these items for free just by doing the hunters. All of these items are just event items that you get for free just by taking out the loot goblin. Like a lot of these items you can get just from playing the game normally. I mean, the Provocateur, the Birdie's Quick Fix. I mean, these are all things that you can get just from playing the game. Where the Regulus, the Eagle Bearer, the Ravenous, the Bighorn, yeah, those are your big ticket items, even though 75% of them are available in the Dark Zone. And then up here, you have your Turmoil and Lexington, which were given out last year, and now they're giving them out again after this event. So there's technically no reason to do this event. Once you have the vanity items, if you even want the vanity items, that's it. You're done. You have a 50% chance of getting all those vanity items. I mean, it's pretty quick once you open up a few caches. But the rest of these, I would, sad to say, just grind them in the normal game. It's going to be easier for you, and you're not going to get as upset. I've had so many people in the comments saying, hey man, I'm level 200. Hey man, I'm level 250, and still no drops. Hey man, I'm looking for the Eagle Bearer, still no drops. I'm telling you, it's really hard, and the drop chances are really low. So I would probably, I don't know. I'm staying away from it. And that's just me personally. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's finish up with what the devs said and get you out of here. So on top of them saying that everyone is getting in on the 12th, right? The Lexington, if you've done 30 levels, the Turmoil, if you've done 50. Let's see what else has been said here. At the end of the event, we're going to give away one Lexington and one Turmoil to all players who have made it to level 130 and 150, respectively. Therefore, grinding more levels will not result in players receiving more items unless they get them through the caches. And I want to say they have another response here. And it says right here, yes, we've seen some people commenting about it, but we wanted to make sure that the official version was out here and that we have clarified things. I mean, okay, I get it. I'm level 165. That means you're getting the Turmoil. Yes. Okay. I mean, the devs are being very transparent about what's going on. These are all really good signs, and it's really nice to see as a community member. Now, all of this information and more is on my Twitter page, X if you nasty, so make sure you follow me over here for anything Division related before I make a YouTube video. But that's it, everyone. I just wanted to break down this event, break down the cash, the drop chances, and why I will not be farming this event. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. Shout out where you're from. It's cool to see all of those cool things. And I'll see you in the next one, all right? Take care of yourself and enjoy the rest of your day. Peace out.